Hi, everybody. So we are talking with Randy Teakin. She is the owner of Window Magic Supply. So she's been just a wonderful supporter of the IWCA for many years. Could you tell us a little bit about your history with it and how you've been involved?
Absolutely. I'm a window cleaner, which I'm not out washing windows anymore. I'm a little too old, but I started in the 90s, and my husband and I, we did it together. We'd always come to the show as much as we could. And what I love about the IWCA is you feel like I love the profession of window cleaning. I think it's a skill, it's an art, it's a trade, it's a noble profession. And when you come here, you get to see how amazing it truly is, because you're out there washing windows by yourself a lot of times all day, and you're stuck with this, and you hear, at least my thoughts would sometimes get a little negative or defeatist sometimes. But then you come here and there's common problems and common solutions that you get to hear. Through being a member of the IWCA and coming to these shows.
Absolutely. And we have so many vendors here. I think it's neat because I've seen you talking to several of the vendors, even some who sell the same stuff you do. But that camaraderie, you know, you guys are both kind of in the same boat, even though you're supposed to, have the same audience you're trying to reach. Here, it's like we're all kind of in the same family. And I think that's
love
really
that.
Neat. Yeah.
Yes, we are. And it is like a family.
Yeah.
And we're all here to support each other. Now
tell us a little brief story of the Window Magic Supply.
Sure.
How did it get to that when you guys were window cleaners?
Okay.
Yeah, how did it get to that end?
So we had Window Magic window cleaning, which I still have, and then we also had a screen repair shop that during the recession of 2008, we bought a screen repair shop, and there was a local supply store, and they sold janitorial supplies, a lot of window cleaning supplies. Well, they closed shop. And so a lot of window cleaners that would bring screens in would ask, where are you getting your supplies? Where are you getting your supplies? And I'm like, good question. So because, there's the thing you need when you drop us, your squeegee, and you can't find it in a bush, or your scraper or your clamp goes out. So I thought, I have this little storefront for my screen repair. I'll put a few supplies in here and see what happens.
Very smart.
And because I didn't have to pay any extra for the storefront because I already had it. And then we sold the screen shop when my husband fell ill a couple of years ago. Sold that, and I moved 2 suites over and got a more full line of supplies. But what I love about it is I love the window cleaning profession so much. I just have so much passion. So it's so fun helping people get the supplies they need. And we do have a brick and mortar store if you're local to Southern California, or if you're in town, and you get to see, touch, and feel everything. And we love supporting window cleaners.
Yeah, and you have like events, right, in-house? And I'm one of these days I will make it down there. I will make it down for one of your events.
Fernando came last time.
Yes, Fernando came. He's one of the board members of the IWCA. It's just a really neat event. But you're just a neat person. So anytime we can do something with you, we're always happy. So thanks so much, Randy. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Bye.
We are talking with Jeff Engel, ICI Insurance. This is a gentleman. How long have you guys been with IWCA conventions?
This is our second time, actually. Yeah.
Okay. So I met him last year, and let me tell you, if you want to learn about insurance, this is the guy you want to talk to. So why don't you tell us a little bit about ICI and why you guys are here at the window cleaning convention, and why that's an important distinction to keep in mind.
Yeah. So ICI Insurance, we're an independent agent, and so that means that we have lots of different insurance carriers we can work with. We're licensed in every state, so we're able to go and find the right coverage with the right carrier for you. But window cleaning is not your normal insurance. And so, if you're working with somebody and they don't they don't know the industry and know what you need, there's a very good possibility that you might not have the coverage you want, and then you can find out at the wrong time that you might not be covered for that. And so it's just been a great community to work with. We really enjoy just the mentality and the work ethic of the window cleaning community, and it's a fun group to work with.
Yeah. So what happens usually for us window cleaners is we go to an insurance agent or a broker. We tell them what we need. They're immediately thinking janitor, high-rise window cleaner.
Yeah.
And so janitor, you're not going to get the right coverage you need.
Right.
And high-rise window cleaners, you're going to be paying out the nose.
That's right.
And it's so weird to think that they would have such a different view, but that's usually the case. So if your insurance agent doesn't understand window cleaning, you're probably going to be paying way more or not getting enough coverage.
Right.
So that's why you want to talk to someone like Jeff, because he understands the ins and outs. And also talk a little bit about why it's important to what you say to the underwriters and auditors.
Yeah. So, you know, most auditors, they see, oh, well, I clean windows up to 4 stories, and they immediately think, oh, well, I'm going to be on a really tall ladder, or I'm going to be hanging off the top of the building. And so literally we like to advise people, hey, the first time you do an audit with somebody, send them a picture of one of your guys using a water-fed pole up at a high level, and then they'll immediately think, oh, they're actually standing on the ground, and so this is a way lower risk of an account than I ever would have thought of.
Right.
And so you just got to talk through that, talk through the underwriters about, hey, we don't use razors, and if we do, we have somebody sign a waiver beforehand. And so then they're going to get comfortable with it, and they're going to realize that, you know, hey, this is an okay account to write.
Yes, very cool. So that's the thing they want to keep in mind. Just go with someone who's educated, who understands the business, and you're not going to go wrong. So thanks, Jeff.
All right,
appreciate it. All right, guys. So we are here with a good friend of mine, Melody Edwards. She has started a new company. Well, I guess it's been around for a little bit.
It's been a little
now.
while. It's been almost 2 years now.
HomeServiceVA.com.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about what it is and why it's so helpful to the home service industry.
Of course. So I have been a window cleaner for all of my adult life, and I'm also super ADD, and I've struggled with office. I hate office.
Right.
It's not my main thing. So I discovered that having a virtual assistant really changed my life. It made it so much easier to run the office. And I also found out that I'm really good at creating relationships, you know, figuring out how to hire people that are going to kind of fit my weaknesses. So that's pretty much what me and my first VA did. We started Home Service VA to help other business owners who are a lot like me to be able to get the help in their company that they need. Because listen, how many hours after work do we spend doing emails? Do we do phone calls? It's like, this is what they do. And just so people know, a virtual assistant, for us, we work with Filipinos who speak English, American English actually.
Yeah.
And they're very good on our culture, and they're very trustworthy, awesome people. But we teach you everything that you need to know in order to have somebody basically do whatever you want them to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and this is really good too, because the idea, especially when we're a single owner operator, or maybe we have a very small crew, the thought of hiring someone just to answer phones and scheduling, that's a big expense. That's a big
it
cost,
can be. Yeah.
Right? So how is this affordable then, and what before that type of that scale of business?
Okay, so I'm a stubborn business owner. And I always thought of an office person. I had one before that was in person, well before I could have afforded one, but I always thought of it as part of my own salary. Because actually, when I hired that person, they stopped giving discounts on bids, as I love giving rich people discounts. You know? They stopped doing a lot of the things that my owner mindset kept me doing, and they paid for themselves every single year that I had them. But I didn't do it for that reason. I did it because I wanted to make more time for my family.
Yes.
But virtual assistants are really an inexpensive solution. So whereas if you get an in-person office assistant, it might be, you know, $15-20 an hour plus the taxes.
Right.
And a virtual assistant is about we recommend about $5 to $6 an hour to start, and that's tax deductible because they're independent contractors. So
big difference.
Very different, and you know, you might be paying $250, $275. How many jobs do you have to do a week to pay for that? And they're managing not just your, you know, I had my VAs running all of my responsive bids. They would do all of my quotes for Christmas lights that we do. When we had window cleaning, they would put together the quotes. They would send out return emails. But what I do is I teach you how to do it super easy. My brain is really good at figuring out how to do less work, basically.
Right. Good.
And so I teach people how to do it in the easiest way possible, and I hold people accountable for doing the work so that they can be successful with a virtual assistant.
So, and that's important to know, because probably the number one question you get is, how do I know they're going to be able to talk to my customers and tell them the things that I need them to know, right?
Well, yes. And I think the key point is you teach them about where you live. They, for emails, for instance, they learn how you talk to customers by looking at your emails and creating templates from your own words, creating Q&A from the questions you've answered for customers in the past, creating troubleshooting templates from all of the issues you've had so that they can answer those questions in the future for your clients, and they're using your words. And I have taught my VAs, I mean, I hire people who kind of mirror me a little bit, who understand me, and they grow to, they don't speak for me, they speak for themselves, but they answer the way I would. And it's because they've learned from my email, from all of the information I have that already exists. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Melody.
Thank you, my
Appreciate
friends.
it. Yeah, it's good to see you.
It's a pleasure.
All right, we are talking with John McDaniel. So where are you from? Where are you out of?
Well, I'm out of Texas. Amarillo, Texas is where I live.
Okay.
But of course, our business, it's pretty remote, so we can kind of work from anywhere. So.
Nice. Well, we wanted to have him on here because he started a new podcast, and it's called Under Pressure, and it has to do with the pressure washing industry. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what topics you're going to discuss, who you want on, and that type of thing. What the goal of the podcast is.
So Under Pressure, it's been going. So some of you guys that are listening to this, you probably know it.
Sign on.
Jake Arnson, he was doing that. I'm taking that over. And so it's still going to remain pressure washing, power washing, window washing, and cleaning. It's also, we're going to move into like some carpet cleaning, any service-based companies that are having to deal with liquids and hauling those around. What are you doing? The chemicals that it takes to clean, it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are concerned with that. They're going to have to, how do you do that? And it's all associated with one another in some way, shape, or form. I know some of the tools are different, but the actual dealing with the chemicals, what do you do with them? How do you train on them? How do you get people trained on the equipment? All of that is very similar, and the business structure is very similar.
For sure.
So I feel like a lot of people want to hear about that. And I know the Under Pressure podcast has been doing fantastic.
Good.
And I know you guys apparently have a great podcast going on here. So
we like it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And now I'm excited because I didn't even know what was happening. So now I'm going to check it out because I need some tips.
And the thing too is that what it seems like more and more as window cleaners try to branch out, they're going into the pressure washing, soft washing business. So it's really important that our industries kind of interchange information, because whereas like for us, I know a lot about window cleaning, I know a little bit about power washing and soft washing. So I'm going to be definitely watching your podcast to share that information, and vice versa. I got a call from a guy, a pressure washer. I forget where he found me on social media, and he sent me a message, so we got on the phone. And he has a DI system, just to do the water fed. But he was asking about learning how to fan. So I got to direct him to the IWCA and say, hey, if you get a membership here, you're going to have access to all kinds of tools.
Awesome.
But again, that comes because of the interaction between two different industries.
Yes.
Yes. And we get to share that information. Everyone gets to be profitable on that.
Yeah, and it's really about the accelerate. I'm sorry, I'm saying it incorrectly. Moving. So when you're out pressure washing a sidewalk or someone's driveway or the roof or whatever it is, these ancillary jobs that you can pick up, for example, window washing. So if you can branch into that, that's how you're going to start gaining profits through that, right? And so these industries, man, they go hand in hand, and a lot of people have to start thinking and moving in that direction. Because you're going to maximize a lot of profits that way.
And that's it. I think when you only, and this was me for a long time, and really for me, it was fine. I was smaller. I didn't really need to have that much of a profit to kind of meet my goal. Now that I have more trucks, if you can get your current customers to get them to sign on for more services, that's the cheapest promotion you could possibly do. Is people who already like you and already use you and already trust you to add on for you just to do more for them. And that's like instant profit.
And you're already there.
Yeah.
So now it's just an upsell.
Yes.
look, man, and your text can do that. Like,
Yes.
hey, we've started this service, and not so you don't have to hire fancy salesmen or marketing on that side of it. They can walk up and they're doing that job, and they can say, hey, I don't know if you know, but we're offering window cleaning now, or we're offering pressure washing now. Fantastic. You mean I don't have to go look for it? Absolutely. It's going to cost me an extra $100 to go do this, or $200. I'm in. Let's do this twice a year. Whatever it is. So, yeah, that's great, man.
So tell me what. So for me, being a window cleaner, dabbling in pressure washing, what's the number one rookie mistake that you see guys like me make when it comes to the pressure washing and soft washing side?
Well, I don't do the pressure washing, power washing side of it, but I think the biggest problem is people are trying to go out and they're really trying to with the equipment. So like here, there is some amazing equipment out here. This is fantastic. And I won't take anything away from any of it, because it's half of it I wouldn't even know how to use or what to do with it. I'll just tell you right now. But so many people are really trying to go out, and before they have a need,
right?
Before they have the business or anything to do, they're going out, they're spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on this equipment, and that's great. But if you don't have, if you don't have the need,
right,
get the business first. Get what you need to go into that business, and then as your needs build, specifically when you have clients saying, "Hey, I've got this, how are you doing? 3-story parking garage and I need power wash." At that point,
now it's worth investing.
Yeah, now you're like, you know what? That's already a great customer, and I've got another service I can provide that can easily turn into something more.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, Kevin Hargis had a class yesterday on being profitable.
Yes.
And he mentioned that exact thing.
Yes.
Just saying, hey, don't, we all want to get equipment, but why don't you wait till actually you can use it, so it's not sitting somewhere, and then you're paying interest on whatever loan you got to get that equipment, So yeah, just smart stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people also they invest in a lot in equipment. Obviously, you have to have equipment to do work,
right?
But you have to have trained people. You have to invest in your people.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have people, the equipment will just sit there.
Right.
If you don't have the right people doing the right jobs, they know how to do it, so you invest. And when I see these guys coming to these shows, and you guys the IWCA is doing a great job putting these shows on and bringing these classes in, and this gives these guys an opportunity to bring their leadership in, their techs in, and they get a lot of knowledge from these courses, these classes, not only as the business owners, but from the tech side as well. And that's just investment. You're investing in those people who are out doing great work for you.
Yeah, very good. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for taking the time, John. Nice to meet you, and I wish you well on your podcast. I'll definitely be subscribing.
Awesome,
and
man.
you guys should
Appreciate
too.
it.
So.